SpaceX has sent out invitations to a lot more people to join its Starlink satellite internet service, but we'll tell you why RVers and cruisers might not want to sign up just yet. Hi, I'm Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center here to give you another update on Starlink. This is SpaceX's next generation low Earth orbit satellite broadband constellation that is currently in public beta testing and rolling out to a even broader audience as we speak. So yesterday, January 20th, SpaceX started the day off with another beautiful Starlink launch, the first of 2021. And then ended the day by sending out a lot of emails to people who'd been on the waiting list at Starlink.com, waiting for service, expanding to new states, including South Dakota, and pushing further south in some of the other states they'd already been offering service in. And the addresses they sent out included to people who had registered interest using mail forwarding services in South Dakota. So a lot of RVers and cruisers who use South Dakota mail forwarding services, which are very popular, got the invitation. Hey, come join Starlink. We have limited availability in your service area. And that is kind of the key because a lot of people are rushing out. They're ordering Starlink. They're discovering that they can put in any shipping address they want. And they think they can get Starlink and they'll start using it anywhere in the country. And that is not the case. And actually, SpaceX yesterday put out a new FAQ warning people, letting people know that Starlink service is currently, well, they're saying it's not geo-locked, but it is effectively geo-locked. What they're doing is when you sign up for Starlink service, they are checking your service address, where you register, not where you're shipping to see if it is in a served cell. They've carved up the country into cells, kind of like cellular cell towers do, where the satellites are serving individual cells. And if you have capacity in a cell where your service address is, they will sell you a Starlink dish, but it is assigned to that cell, and it will not work if you take it to another cell. So in other words, what this means is you get your fancy new Starlink dish and you take it and set it up, and if you are not near your service address, it will just pivot around and not find and not connect to a satellite in the sky. So how big are these cells and how much can you actually travel with Starlink right now? According to early beta testers who are experimenting with this, some people are saying that their service drops off if they go more than about 15 miles from the registered service address. Some people have had a little bit further luck. But overall, Starlink is not mobile friendly yet. So we're all of us, nomads of all sorts, are excited about someday having Starlink service that we could take out into the deep desert or out cruising or out on the ocean and stuff. And indeed, SpaceX has talked about these future potentials, but the current Starlink rollout and the initial beta, as we've been saying all along, is focused on fixed residential rural installs. And even if you can order Starlink right now, don't count on it working just yet. Now, going into 2021, SpaceX has got a lot of plans to expand. They have talked about doing mobility support, but it might require different data plans and maybe even different hardware. So don't buy the Starlink hardware right now, even if you get the invitation, because it might be something completely different that supports mobility down the road. Two other updates on Starlink is one, people have discovered that you can actually place orders. If you are in one of the covered service areas, you have a service address in a covered cell now, you can place an order without actually having to be on the waiting list. If you've got an address that qualifies, there's no longer a wait for an invitation process on their Starlink.com website, so you can order right away now. If you're in a different service address, of course, you'll then have to be waiting for them to send an email saying we've rolled out to your service address. And then the other update Starlink put into the FAQs is that apparently they've discovered a lot of people being disappointed by getting Starlink and discovering they have obstructions, and even just a branch or a twig or a pole can cause an obstruction in the sky. You need a very wide 100-degree field of view of the sky for Starlink to work effectively with dropouts. And so they're encouraging people, before you order Starlink, to use the Starlink app on Google or iOS, Google Android or iOS, to check your view of the sky and make sure it is completely unobstructed, that there's not a mast, a pole, a tree, or something else that will cut into your service. And again, they say over time, as there's more satellites, that 100-degree view of the sky will decrease. There'll be more satellites up there, so you'll have less need to focus, and Starlink will work more reliably with obstructions. But right now, it's called a beta for a reason. It's got a lot of limitations. So, hey, Starlink is coming. It's super exciting to watch. There's another launch happening in just a few days, but don't rush off and sign up just yet unless you know what you're getting into.
These videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.